So you've seen case after case. How does this end?
It should end. It could end. It has to end with more strict laws, better training, better guidelines, better education, and more vigilant co-workers.
These schools who are trying to protect themselves and protect their co-workers have to stand up.
Teachers have to make the students and the kids their #1 priority. That's what it takes. There's a lot of school districts that do that. There are some great school districts who have never had this issue, ever, because they're on top of it. And then there's some other ones that turn a blind eye to it.
This is a nightmare scenario for any parent. Is there advice that you could give parents so that they could avoid this happening to their own children?
Now in 2014, you know what my advice is? Check your child's cell phone and their text messages, because now that's the #1 way that this grooming activity is now starting to take place, where the teacher starts texting, and it's innocent at first, and it's a conversation at first, and the texting suddenly turns into inappropriate texting, and then it's sexting, and then there you go. That's something I've seen a lot of lately. But I think general advice that I would give to any parent is you got to be active in your kid's life, and if you see another adult forming what should obviously be an improper relationship with a kid, they're just spending way too much time with them and too much attention and gifts and that type of thing, that's usually a red flag that should be investigated. And the other thing is you can educate your child. You know, there's a lot of kids nowadays who've been told, hey, this is good touching, this is bad touching, your teacher's allowed to do this, they're not allowed to do that. Kids who learn that at an early age are usually the ones who, once a teacher tries that, they're the ones who actually report it.
Is there anything that you would say to parents out there, as a parent yourself, as someone who's seen Kristen go through this, you know, who are all going to watch this story and be petrified that this is going to happen to their kid?
Well, yeah, I think access is the thing that you have to watch out for. Julie needed access to Kristen, and she got it by way of cell phone, but also just constant contact at school. Having Kristen be a teacher's assistant and taking, I would call it as an unnatural interest or an abnormal interest in Kristen. I think looking back on it, the amount of contact they had was not right, and the school should have seen it. To abuse a child, an abuser needs that access. So whether it comes from the internet or cell phones, or they are doing private lessons or being part of your life, and then also taking trips, you know, wanting to take your kid on a mountain trip or out of town on a camping trip, out of an overnight trip, because they need that access. They need the access to control the child. And so I think if you limit the access, you really are limiting the abuser's opportunities.
I'd like to think that through Kristen's story and the reporting on district administrators covering it up and not reporting, that more people are coming forward, more victims are coming forward, more teachers, more people dealing with kids are reporting abuse. We've certainly seen a lot of cases since Kristen's come forward. We've also seen changes in state laws. There's legislation out there right now where they want to toughen up reporting rules. They want to make training for reporting mandatory. They want to make it easier at times and streamline the process to fire bad teachers. Since Kristen came forward, a lot of stuff's been changing in that front.
What do you hope comes of your reporting?
Well, I hope that teachers and administrators don't have this attitude anymore where that they're investigators. Their job is to protect children, but they need to do their job, but they need to let other people do their job as well.
I think Kristen's story is powerful enough. If you could pick someone to go down this path, this very difficult path, I think she's the perfect person to do it. I'd never wish this on anyone, and I'm sure she wouldn't wish it on herself. But she's incredibly well-spoken. She's honest. She's frankly braver than a lot of people I know to come forward. And I think using your name, coming forward and sharing your life and all those struggles you went through is going to help other people come forward. And if one or two other people come forward because of that, I think she should be very proud of herself for coming forward.